Yo, what's good everybody? So today we're going to talk about the forward 4 in combos. I know a lot of people are having trouble with this. I think, you know, it's very easy once you get used to it. But the thing is, I say that it's still very droppable. Like, there's still times I get forward 4. It's very rare I like dash under or jump over someone with forward 4. I do get forward 4 a few times. And one thing to note is that when your back's to the wall and like you launch your opponent and you do forward 4, you can go underneath them. So if your back's completely to the wall and you launch, you're best off doing back 2 rather than forward 4 because forward 4 can go under them. But we're going to talk about the timings, like the visual timings you can look at to get this move down. There is 3 launches that people mainly struggle off, which is Hopkick, down forward 1-2, and counter hit down forward 2. Now, in my opinion, the counter hit down forward 2 is the hardest one, timing wise, to get, followed by down forward 1-2, and then Hopkick's probably the easiest one to get. So we'll go in order of easiest to hardest. So we'll start off with Hopkick. So in Hopkick, people are either getting this, or they're doing it too late, like this. These are the 2 things that people are getting wrong. If you want a visual way to do this, if you look at Claudio after the hop kick, if you watch the leg that does the hop kick, so his right leg, do you see when it lands on the floor? If you're just watching Claudio itself, watch when his leg lands on the floor. As his leg lands on the floor is when you can input forward 4 as a move. So just this. No like crazy execution of it, just forward 4 if you watch. As soon as his leg touches the floor, you can input it. If you input it too fast, this is what happens. And if you input it too slow, this is what happens. So as soon as his legs touch the ground, you just, like, don't look at the other Claudio. Just watch your, if you feel like you're going to get the hop kick off, just watch your Claudio and wait for his leg to touch the ground. And you'll pick up the timing for it, and then eventually you'll stop looking at your Claudio. You'll start looking in general, like just the general screen and stuff, and you won't have to do that anymore because your timing will just come into it. You'll know when to press, and you'll hit it like literally all the time. The odd time you won't, you'll get this. It happens. It happens to me. It happens to the best of us. Don't worry about that. But if you want it more consistently, just in the hop kick version, just look when his leg touches the floor, and that's when you can input forward 4. One of the best visual confirmations you can do for that. Okay, so next we have down forward 1-2. Down forward 1-2 is extremely tricky to get the timing of this one. The best thing you can look for this one is you have to wait for his head to turn back, and his hand to recover. You see how his head turns to the left, and his hand recovers back to normal. This is when you input the forward 4. The timing is very strict on this one. But this is when you can input it. It is difficult, but you will get there. A lot of the time you're going to get this. You know, if you're too fast, if you're doing it just before this happens. I'm just pressing forward 4 at the moment, by the way. I'm not trying to do it. You will get this. It's very rare you'll get this version. That just means you're just taking too long. But I think with this one, you're going to get forward 4 a lot more. But the visual is just his head and his arm. So his head turns back and his arm recovers. And then that's when you can input the forward 4. It is tricky. It does take a lot of practice. And eventually you want to stop with the visual confirmation and you'll just get a feel for it. Because you do it so many times, you just get a feel for down forward 1-2 working out there. So that's the visual version that you can do for a while in practice, just to get used to it, and then eventually your muscle memory timing will just take over where you don't feel like you have to look for that anymore. But yeah, it is difficult. I definitely think you'll drop this quite a lot at the start until you get used to it. Finally, we have the down forward 2, which can be the most difficult one. You can be too late for this, and this happens a lot. You'll get this a lot. So what you want to do is, just as he drops, you see how he drops to his knee? Just as he drops to his knee there, you'll see a little kink in the floor. That's when you input the forward 4. and you'll get it every time. If you wait too long, this will happen. You can pretty much do it straight away, but I think for the most, like, there is sometimes, I don't know if it's character specific or not, if you do this straight away, it can whiff for some reason, unsure, or maybe it's distance or off axis, it can whiff. But if you want a visual thing, when the kink in the floor happens, you can input it and it shouldn't ever drop, is what I've gathered. But don't be too late, otherwise, don't wait for the fall, otherwise you'll just go over like this. It's a weird one. I'm not sure if it's different for every single character. Let's try a bear, for instance, but they are bigger, so we'll just see what it does on a bear. But it is one of the most awkward ones where it goes over. See, with the bear, it doesn't show too much of a kink, but I have the timing down for it. With a bear, you can actually delay it longer, and it's still going to hit. So if we try the smallest characters, like Ling, and we'll just see the timing difference on each character, because we've done bears, we've done standard males. If we do, yeah, when she kinks on the floor, it's still there, and if you're late, so it's the same for all characters really. If you leave it too late, it doesn't hit. If you wait for the kink on the floor, it's going to hit every single time. So this is basically all the timings that you're going to need to practice the forward 4. Just go over it in practice mode as much as you can. Obviously, Hopkick's going to be the most one that you're going to do, I imagine. I imagine you hit a Hopkick combo. You want that more often. I think you're going to hit Hopkick more. You're going to hit down forward 1-2 or down forward 2. Well, it actually depends on how you play, really. Depends on your play style, really. For me, Hopkick hits more than any of the others because I use it more, I'd say, for punishment, and I don't catch too many down forward 2 counter hits. But you know, practice these visuals until you don't need them anymore, and eventually your hands, whether you're on stick, mixbox, hitbox, controller, whatever. Obviously, I play a controller now. You won't need the visuals. Your muscle memory will just be there. You'll input it all the time. Honestly, if you ask any of the top players or people that have played Claudio for a long time, there's no way they look at visuals like what I've just shown you now, just because of how used to the timing they are. There's no way they look for this stuff. Like, I don't look for this stuff. I just know it exists. I feel like back in the day I probably did look at it, but obviously I just labbed it to see the timing differences. And these are the visual timings that shows basically how to do it. So I hope it helps. I hope you drop the combos a lot less. You will drop it again. I still drop them to this day. Like, not often, but you'll see on some of my ranked sessions, I swear I will drop this combo. It happens. You just got to get on with it. But yeah, this is how you do the forward 4 in combos. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.